Alright everybody, welcome back to reading. I'm going to pick off right where we left off from yesterday, so sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing the one and only Bob. By the time everyone else wakes up, I've calmed down, but the wind outside sure hasn't. It's an early fall Saturday, gusty with scraps of sun, clouds bouncing off each other like bunnies in a basket. Messages on the wind pouring in from everywhere. From dogs making their daily rounds, from feral cats, from anxious raccoons. Basically everybody is asking the same thing. What is the deal with the weather today? I already know. Weather Channel was on last night with a screen full of big, white, cotton candy looking swirls. Julia's dad, George, has already taped up several windows. Sarah, her mom, packed an emergency bag just in case we have to evacuate. Another hurricane is on the way. Third this season. Not as big as the last couple, but slow moving. I've seen the routine, know the ropes. Once breakfast is done, I sit on the couch in the living room, waiting impatiently for Julia to come home so she can take me on our daily stroll. She has a dog walking service and she's out walking other dogs. I get my own private walk, because she's my own private girl. I can practically taste the storm coming through the open window, the back of my throat tingle, the metallic edge, the fizzy energy. But it's more than that. It's as if the air is up to no good, sneaking up on the world and looking for trouble. Of course, not everybody can smell what I'm smelling. My nose is a zillion times more powerful than a human's. Dogs are experts at odor, students of stink. We analyze the air the way humans read poetry, searching for invisible truths. And we don't just smell the good and bad stuff that people notice with their substandard snozzes. The usual suspects: popcorn, lilacs, and freshly sharpened pencils, diapers, and Brussels sprouts, and freaked out skunks. No, our noses get it all. The whole shimmery double rainbow in April. Humans, they're lucky to get a cloudy day in November. We get that molecule of roast beef dancing in the wind 50 miles from the tidy kitchen where it just slid out of the oven. We get the cherry lollipop under the back seat of the Honda 16 cars up on the highway at rush hour. We get things humans can't even dream of getting. We're the ones who find the miracle earthquake baby cuddling in her crib under tons of rubble. We're the ones who find lost hikers in the wilderness after a quick whiff of a sweaty sock. We can't even tell when somebody's sick. We can smell seizures and cancer and migraine headaches. Try getting your guinea pig to do that. We smell feelings too. Sad has a sharp scent with an undertone of sweetness. Sad smells like being lost in the winter forest as the sun goes down. And happy? Happy is the best. But there's a touch of wistfulness around the edges. Happy smells like bacon, ice cream served up in an expensive leather shoe. You're going to love every minute of it. But you know it won't last forever. Sometimes when Julia and I go for walks, I'll break at a corner. Corners are the best for fresh news. And she'll tug and say, "Come on, Bob, there's nothing there." Oh, but there is. Here's the thing about poop and pee. I get that humans are not into them. I see the bathroom doors shut tight, the embarrassed, downcast gazes. You guys are totally missing out. There's a whole lot of info hiding in your average pee mail. When dogs want to share the latest gossip, we just wait until nature calls. You'd be amazed what we can learn during a quick bathroom break. People read the news, check the TV, browse the web. I linger over a fire hydrant and inhale the whole wide world. My ears, by the way, are almost as remarkable as my nose. I pick up all kinds of things humans can't hear. What we do with our noses and our ears, kind of like taking a big old knot and loosening it up. Separating out the strands, unbraiding things. People smell a reeking pile of trash in a dumpster. We smell a dollop of cream cheese, a hint of peanut butter, a smattering of Fruit Loops. People hear the roar of a crowd in a stadium. We hear a strain of whiny 4-year-old, a whisper of a worried superfan, a note of grumpy hot dog vendor. Man, dogs are cool. While I watch from my perch on the back of the couch, Julia passes by on the sidewalk. George asked her to keep her dog walking routine close to home in case the weather changes. She's wearing a shiny purple raincoat and leading 3 dogs, a goofy mutt named Winston, a timid dachshund named Oscar Mayer, and her, Snickers, an old nemesis of mine. Snickers is a fluffy white poodle with delusions of grandeur, a big snooty pain in the puffball. Oh, that pooch drives me crazy. Our mutual dislike goes back to my early days as a stray. Snickers was a fancy, pampered, sleep on a pink satin pillow kind of gal. Her owner, Mac, ran the mall, and where I lived with Ivan and Ruby. That's where I first encountered Snickers. She teased me mercilessly, and beneath the fuzzy facade, I always suspected there was a little, spark there. Anyways, after the mall closed down, Snickers, being Snickers, landed on her feet. Mac married an older widow lady with more money than sense, and she dots on that ridiculous poodle. Mac's too lazy to walk Snickers himself, and so he hired Julia to do it. "Looking good, Snick baby," I call through the open window, and she gives me her curled lip, squinted-eyed face, which came to think of it, is pretty much how she always looks. As usual, Snickers is dressed to the max. She's wearing a pink poncho, a sparkly rain hat, and tinsy pink boots. "Those boots are made for mocking," I added for good measure. It feels good giving her some grief, but before I can really relish the moment, another annoying acquaintance of mine appears. Nutwit, the gray squirrel who lives in the live oak on our front lawn, jumps to a lower branch, looking at me with barely concealed pity. I hate pity, especially the barely concealed kind. "I don't know why you taunt her," he says. "You're hardly in a position to talk, Bob. You are Snickers. Come over here to the window and say that. So you can, what, drool me to death? Are you aware my best friend is a gorilla? I ask. You would make fantastic ape chow, dude." Nutwit reaches for a dangling acorn and yanks it free. "I thought gorillas were vegetarians." "Ivan eats termites," I say. "He might make an exception for you. Face it, Bob. You're soft. You're one step away from your own pink rain boots." "He has a point," says Minnie, one of our family's guinea pigs from her cage next to the TV. "No, he doesn't," says Moo, her cage mate. "Yes, he does," Minnie squeaks. "Doesn't. Doesn't." Minnie pauses. "Wait, you tricked me." The guinea pigs rarely agree on anything. Nutwit leaps over to the window ledge, acorn in paw. He presses his tiny twitch nose on the screen. You couldn't last a day out here, Bob. Some of us have to live by our wiles." "Hey, I lived on the streets longer than you've been alive." Nutwit nibbles his acorn. He's quite the prissy eater. "Whatever you say, Bob." "I say scram." "Fine, hint taken. Anyway, storm's en route. I should be stocking up on my nut stash while I can." Nutwit gives me a wise guy look. That's how we do it in the real world. He scampers off with an acrobatic flourish. Squirrels never do a simple jump when a quadruple backflip cartwheel is an option. "You're full of it," I say to nobody in particular. "We're full of it," says Minnie. "Yes, we're extremely full of it," says Moo. And they popcorn in agreement. Guinea pigs hop up and down when they're happy. It's called popcorning, and it's totally ridiculous. You're happy, wag your tail like a real mammal. "I am not soft," I mutter, nosing my protruding belly. I leap with effort off the couch, then head to the bathroom for a good, long drink from the water bowl of power. I know Nutwit has a point. I've become a creature of habit, spoiled after a stretch of being my own dog. For a long time, I was Bob, the beast, cunning and streetwise. As a stray, I lived off leftovers at the mall while Snickers dined on her fancy pants and kibble. Man, how I loved that cotton candy stuck on the floor, the unexpected UFOs, the end of ketchup-covered hot dogs scattered under the bleachers like, big toes or something. Ivan offered to share his gorilla food with me, and Stella and Ruby were always ready to pass along a carrot or an apple, but I refused. I needed to stay in shape, stay tough, stay true to my wild nature. Okay, so maybe every now and then I'd sneak a banana chunk from Ivan's breakfast, but then things changed. I became civilized, domestic, a pet. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely some perks. Julia, who's an artist, painted my name on a food bowl. She gave me these wonderful mushy blankets and the kind where you can bed boogie forever till it's squishy to perfection and you can curl up just so. I love that blanket, but I simply cannot sleep without not Tog, Ivan's raggedy old toy gorilla. Of course, just when I get my blanket and not tag imprinted with the right amount of ooey de bob, Julia's mom does the unthinkable, puts them in the washing machine and removes every last bit of me. There are other indents I tolerate. The daily walk of a tug-of-war string after going stringless my whole life. The attempts to train me, like that'll ever happen. The kisses and cuddling. Well, the cuddling's okay, I suppose. But the kissing, I just don't get. If you want to kiss your dog, why not give him a big old lick on the face and be done with it? Anyways, so what if I've gotten a little spoiled? A tad soft around the edges. There's a difference between being soft and being afraid. Being a coward. Alright, that's where we're going to stop today, guys. See you tomorrow.